This is the Striving Butterfly podcast. The introduction. Hello, my name's Coleen. Welcome to my podcast, The Striving Butterfly. I can imagine you're thinking, another podcast. Well, I was thinking the same and still question what I'm doing. But enough is enough. I'm challenging myself to step a little bit more out of my comfort zone. You wouldn't believe it's taken 2 years to record my first episode. I have been running and conversing with the Lord as to whether I'm doing the right thing. Why me, Lord? But after running and receiving prophecy after prophecy, and for those that don't know, prophecy in easy spiritual terminology is a message from God which includes the foreknowledge of future events, though it may sometimes apply to past events of which there is no memory, and to the present hidden things which cannot be known by the natural light of reason. Seeing the direction of my life shifting, my core network of friends and family strengthen, and the new pool of people being drawn to me changing, I said no matter what, if it's not all done the way I want, this year on my birthday I will release my first episode. And whoop whoop, I think we've done it. I originally wanted my website up along with so many other elements, but hey, work commitments and life took place. Some would say excuses as to why I didn't make it happen sooner. And you know what? The fear of venturing into an unfamiliar space also caused me to delay. I can't front. In the delay, which started before I even conceived the idea of this podcast, I've been on a journey of transformation and learned how to truly embrace my wings. Don't get me wrong. I have and still have a few blips, as we all do. I am far from perfect. However, before, I had been hiding, ignoring, iffing and ahhing about how and what to proceed. I had been deterred by comments, but mainly found myself getting too comfortable supporting and growing everyone else's vision as opposed to defining and building my own. I can imagine you nodding, raising your eyebrows, thinking, yeah, that's me too. I know many will identify with me, putting off an idea, procrastinating and thinking, can I do it? You know what? Yes, you sure can, because I'm here right now. If that is you, this podcast is definitely for you. Sharing past, present, and vision of the future, the Striving Butterfly is here to rescue, empower, encourage, and support those healing whilst owning their flaws and preparing to complete the emergence process of opening their wings. With a new episode and an occasional guest every fortnight, be sure to download and tune in to listen to the latest episode. So why the Striving Butterfly? What's with all the references to butterfly? The butterfly has become a metaphor for transformation and hope. Across many cultures, it has often been classed as a symbol for rebirth and resurrection. Among the ancients, is an emblem of the soul and of unconscious attraction towards light. I have continually been chasing the light. In Western culture, the butterfly represents lightness and fickleness. The last 3 to 4 years, I have seen myself shift and evolve like a butterfly. I'm not giving myself an ego boost. No. I just know I've become stronger smarter, and way more powerful. And I love who I am now. And you know what? I want the same for you. I want women and men, infant or adult, to know and feel what it is to be working at their full potential. Now, I may have triggered a flood of thoughts and caused you to have a quick flash of the past as to how, why, and what has caused you to be where you are now. What is this going to reignite? Whether good or bad, we sometimes need to unpack the past to allow us to know what it is that is causing us to hold back. What took me so long to get this podcast live? What took me so long to apply for that role? What took me so long to build up the courage to say, I'm not doing that no more? What took me so long to speak the truth? To prepare and allow you to be more transparent, I'm going to unpick and unpack my story. A story that hasn't completely been told out loud. Without counting on my hand, it's only a handful of people who know my actual story, which was probably shared in conversation, in a response to a question, or just general chit chat and getting to know. So many people will know pieces, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, and it may seem a bit fragmented, but never boom, here it all is. I'm going deeper and I'm picking the journey. And boy, it's a lot. It is a lot. Rapid questions you may be asking yourself at this moment. Will I tell all my story and really go there to answer? Yes, I will. This podcast is for me and my guests to be transparent, authentic, and real. I want you to feel encouraged to know you're not on your own. I want you to feel comfortable with your own story. Second question. Why on a podcast? And why now? I feel my story will allow others to come forward, drop their guard, and feel safe in knowing it's going to be okay. I can do this. This was never something I dreamed of doing, going live with a podcast. I never even really thought about it. But during me questioning if I should or shouldn't, the volume of women I have come to meet and know in the last year has been somewhat overwhelming, all feeling open and trusting me with their story and journey. It's like I've become a safety blanket with them, knowing I'm not here to judge, as I've been there. I've been exactly where they have. That for me was like a sign and my confirmation to push and be a blessing to someone else. You may think, well, it's normal for girls to chat and get together. Well, you know what? I'm someone who keeps my circle real small. I don't trust so easy from being burnt before. Like, I have one bestie. Big up my girl Kat. Been riding with me for 20 years. Whoop, whoop. Another girl who has been with me even longer, but last couple of years we've slowly distanced due to work and family life, but I love her loads and there's no hard feelings. I have to give a shout out to my prayer girlies, Fran and Goma. We've been on our journeys with Christ together. Then I've got someone who most probably wouldn't even know, and they may be listening back and be surprised. It's my girl Shah, who has been instrumental in my journey and the birthing of my wings. And then last but not least, a brother that's not a brother by birth, but a brother by spiritually, who I won't name, but who has encouraged me enormously to just keep thriving and pushing and going, and equipping me with all the equipment, tools, advice that a girl could possibly need to not back out. I called out these ladies in particular, as I wouldn't be speaking to you now if these ladies and my brother weren't playing such a key role in my life. I hope and pray you have someone in your life. And if you don't, please don't sit there alone in silence. Reach out and get in touch with me. Going back over my journey and revisiting parts of my life has stirred up so many emotions. And it may cause you to unbox some emotions you had under lock and key. You may find it awkward, painful, and have a raw moment. It may challenge you to question some friendships and cause some heated conversations. You may listen and judge me, give me a side eye, and look at me different. You may call me a fool and be like, girl, you're on your own. But ladies in particular, you can give me the sniggles and the side eye and share bits of this in your group and make your ah noises. But I'm proud of what I've overcome, and I'm comfortable knowing I can own and walk in my truth. So do as you please. I am covered and I am walking in my purpose and my truth. So if you're ready to come with me on this journey, I need you to say it out loud or whisper if you're in a public place. I'm ready and I ain't going back. I'm ready and I ain't going back. Ladies, girls, mothers, friends, let's heal together. Let's learn how to manage our pain and grief. The events we've swept under the carpet unresolved, the events that has caused us to go on mute, the repeated self-destruct patterns that have caused relationships after relationships to fail, friendships to become dormant, and our own selves to become stagnant. I'm here to make the uncomfortable feel comfortable. Come unpick and unpack the excess luggage. We're about to restore what we've lost, as I teach you how to remove the noise, put yourself first, and practice self-care. Hopefully, from listening this far, you too feel ready. For each podcast, I'm going to include a downloadable handout themed around the episode, available on the website when it's up, but social media accounts as well. Take a moment to complete. Take a moment to reflect. And if you need to, listen back to an episode. And then if you feel comfortable, and only if you feel comfortable, share it with me. Everything will be anonymous unless you stipulate, but you can use me as an outlet to release whatever is holding you captive in your mind. You also have an opportunity to ask me a question or request a topic. I always get my words and tongue twisted. You also have an opportunity to ask me a question or request a topic. Nothing is off the cards. Whew, phew, I did it. I got through my first episode. Before we move to the next episode, and learn who I am. Take a second to reset. Hit that Control, Alt, Delete button in your head as we go on this journey together of owning our truth, building on our future, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. You are listening to the Striving Butterfly podcast with your host, Coleen Myers.